Hi, this is Ambie from Board Game Blitz, and today I'm continuing my top 100 games of all time as of the end of 2023. Last video I blitzed through my top 100 through 50 games, and I also talked about the way I picked the games, which is summarized here. But this video I'm continuing with my 50 through 41 favorite games of all time as of the end of 2023. And yes, I did mention 50 last time, but I'm repeating it in this video because just 49 through 41 would be kind of weird. So, on to the list. My number 50, I mentioned briefly in the previous video, but it is Kites. This is a real-time cooperative game where you're playing down cards that have different colors to flip different colored sand timers over, and you're trying to prevent the sand timers from running out. It's a quick, easy to learn, simple game, but I love real-time cooperative games, and a lot of the real-time cooperative games that I have play only like 4 or 5 players, but this one plays 6, so that's why I've been playing this one more recently, I think, and I like it. My number 49, it was a review copy. It is The Loop, which is a cooperative game where you're trying to save the world. It's themed around time travel, not super thematic, but you're trying to save the world from the evil Dr. Foe, and you're going around this board trying to prevent cubes from overflowing, typical cooperative game stuff. There's also a cool cube tower thing. But what I like about it is that some of the actions you do is through playing cards, and you have like a slight deck building mechanic where you can get new cards and you play cards and do different actions. But then for one of the actions you can do, you can loop and you spend energy to refresh some of the cards that you used if they have matching icons. So you're kind of trying to get cards of the same icon so you can like have a really good chain of actions together and then refresh them all. It's really satisfying when you can get that combo and get a really good turn, but also like each turn is pretty long. And once I played this game when I only had 1 turn in the whole game, and it was still fun like watching everyone else play though. So yeah, this is my number 49. My number 48 is Tokyo Highway. This is the older 2-player version of the game, which I like better than the 4-player version. But this is a dexterity game, kind of like a strategy dexterity game, where you are placing popsicle stick highways and cars together, and you're following certain rules of placement. You have to place these cylindrical discs and then balance the popsicle sticks on top of there, and then you can place your cars when you score points by like crossing over the highways. It has a really neat table presence, and it builds a very convoluted highway, which I guess is the theme of the game. So that's my number 48. My number 47 is Happy Salmon, which is a party game where you're just matching cards. You're all drawing cards that have things like handshake or high five or happy salmon. And those are all different motions you do with another player. So if you have a matching card with another player, then you do the thing. It's lots of silly shouting and just running around. It's a very quick game, very party game, and it's just fun whenever you play it. My number 46 is Hansi Teutonica. It's actually been a while since I played this, but it's a strategy game where you're competing over places on the board. You're placing your pieces on the board, and the board has different routes, and you're trying to get all the spaces in one route to like score it. But you can block other people, and then like if they kick you out, they have to give you a bonus. So it's lots of like trying to block other people from getting these spaces that they want to get, and then like trying to make sure you can get the spaces you can get. So it's a very interactive strategy game, and I need to play it more because it's been a while. My number 45 is Cryptid, which is a competitive deduction game where you're searching for a cryptid on a grid hex map. Basically, there's a bunch of different types of terrain, and each person has a clue saying like the cryptid is on a forest space or like not on mountain and water or something. And so everyone's clues together point to one spot on the map. So you're all trying to figure out what that spot is. The way you're doing the clues is you're placing pieces on the board that say whether or not it can satisfy your clue. So like as the game progresses, there's no note taking. It's just putting pieces on the board, and you have all these pieces on the board that show whose clues are satisfied where, and you eventually get to figure it out. It can be a lot of like thinking because you don't have notes. So it can take a while to like figure out what's going on, but it's really fun and I love deduction. So Cryptid is one of the more different types of deduction games that I have. My number 44 is Micro Macro Crime City. This is actually the Full House version. There's like 4 different versions, but they're all basically the same. This is a Where's Waldo type crime-solving cooperative game. The game is just like a big picture, black and white, but it shows like a whole city with the same person appearing multiple times because it's showing like their path through time. And you're trying to follow these people's paths, like where they went before and where they went after, to figure out and solve a crime. I really like the concept of this, looking around and trying to solve a crime. It doesn't really have a way to lose though, so if you're like looking for a competitive game, this is it. But it's fun to have a group of people like searching for clues. My number 43, I no longer play, but it's Android Netrunner. Here's a playmat. I used to play this card game a lot. It's a 2-player asymmetric competitive card game, kind of like Magic the Gathering, but there's more going on. There's runners and corporations. It's cyberpunk themed, and so like the runner, the hacker, is trying to like hack into the corporation, and the corporation can play cards face down, and there's like these mind games and what cards you're playing. And I got very into it back in 2014. We used to play tournaments, but I don't really like gathering a lot of cards and building decks, which is what this was a living card game where you buy a bunch of expansion packs to get more cards and you build decks, and then you go to tournaments. And well, you don't have to do tournaments, but that's what I did. Android Netrunner itself was actually discontinued, but now there's System Gateway, which is a fan-made expansion. I got a review copy of the System Gateway starter pack a while ago, and I played that, and that was also very similar to Netrunner, and I really liked it. But I don't really play Netrunner anymore because it's more of a lifestyle game, and I also don't play 2-player games as much anymore. But I still really loved it when I did play it, and so it holds a very high spot in my heart and in my gaming history. So that's why it's high on my list. My number 42 is Le Havre, which is a game where you're getting resources to build up a harbor and make ships and get lots of stuff. But basically you have an action disc that you're moving around and you get one action on your turn, and those actions can get you resources or convert resources to other things, or you can build buildings, and those buildings are going to give you more actions. But you can use other people's buildings if you pay them, so you're trying to get like the good buildings so that other people will use your buildings and pay you, or that you can use them for free, and you're getting a lot of resources and trying to convert them into other resources to get a lot of points. There's lots of different ways to convert resources into other resources and lots of different resources. So it's fun getting up all these resources and building this engine to convert them into an ultimate resource to get lots of points. My number 41 is Ready, Set, Bet, which is a horse racing betting game. It's themed around betting on a horse race. And this is basically gambling for people who don't actually want to spend real money. Because for me, I don't like actually gambling, but it's a lot of fun pretending to. So in this game, one player or the app controls the horses, and each horse is a number. You roll dice to see which horse moves. The horses have different odds on them based on the odds of the dice. And in real time, you all can bet on all these different betting spaces. So it's a lot of fun, trying to bet before someone else bets, but then also seeing what horses are doing well and then trying to bet on those ones. And there can be a lot of yelling, trying to cheer for your horse to win, even though it's just dice rolling. So it feels really thematic to me, and people can get really into it, yelling and cheering for the horse, and that's a lot of fun. So that was 10 more of my favorite games in slightly more detail than last time. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you check out my other videos in my Top 100 series, and check out my other videos not in my Top 100 series too. Subscribe for more videos, all that stuff. Thanks for watching Board Game Blitz. Bye!